Hey Micah. Today our video is going to be on playing duets. We, in quarantine, don't get the opportunity to play with each other or with other students. So that's really one part of our playing that we kind of neglect, through quarantine. You get to work on a lot of stuff individually, but there's something really special and important about playing music with other people. So I'm going to do my best to try to make something that will stand in for that experience. So I have two duets that I'm going to record both parts of. I'll record parts 1 and 2. And I want you to go through a series of ways to practice those and then record yourself playing both parts. And when I'm playing one, you play the other, and then we switch. You'll play the one I just played, I'll play the one you just played. That way you get to work on all of the duet material, and you get to practice playing along with someone. So the two duets that we're going to do are number 53 in your book, RLE, and number 79, which is way ahead in the book, Jolly Old St. Nicholas. It's a Christmas tune, okay? And the way I want you to practice these is there's 5 steps to go through this. And you've done them all before, but it's just really important that since you're playing with a recording of me, that you follow them so it makes it easiest for you, okay? When you're playing with me, I can't stop, I can't wait for you, so you really gotta know what notes are coming up, what rhythms are coming up. You gotta be really super familiar with the music you're trying to play. Otherwise, it's really easy to get lost. So there's a lot of practicing by yourself that happens before you play along with me, okay? All right, so step number 1, we're gonna go through it, we're gonna name all the notes. So you wanna know every note that's coming up and be able to just rattle them off with no hesitation. Next, you want to go through and clap the rhythms and say their names. So 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and that kind of thing, just like we've been practicing in the lesson, okay? Then you're gonna play it. You're gonna play by yourself. You're gonna play the parts. That's step number 3. And then number 4, you start playing with the recording. Now, when you first start playing with my recording here, I want you to fast forward through all this talking that I'm doing right now, find the spot where I start playing, and I want you to play exactly what I play. So the first step when you start playing with me is to play with me. You're going to play exactly the part I'm playing. If I play part 1, you play part 1. And you listen to my rhythm and you match along with me. Then I play part 2, you play part 2, etc. Okay? So we're going to do that for both duets. I'm only going to record each part once though. So then you go back and I want you to play along on the opposite part. Okay? So the second time you practice it with me, you're going to play the different part and you're going to hear how it fits together. Okay? And let me know how it goes. So I'm going to start off with RLE here. I am going to play part number 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here is part number 2 of RLE. 1, 2, 3. that is RLE, both parts. Like I said, you can practice on playing either the part that I'm playing, or you can play the opposite part. I want you to go ahead and do both. There's one tricky spot I want to note for you on the second line. On the fourth measure of the second line, there's a rest in the first part. You see that? There's a half note rest where you rest for 2 beats, okay? You hold the A for 2 beats, and then you rest for 2 beats, and then you come back in on the next measure. When you're playing along with that, on the second part, if you're hearing me play the first part and you're playing the second part, it might sound a little strange because you're going to have beats 3 and 4 of that measure in the second part, and I won't be playing with you, okay? So don't let that throw you off. There's supposed to be a little bit of a hole there. It's like a 2-note solo for the second part if you're playing the second part, okay? Let's hop over to number 79, which is quite a bit forward in the book. Okay, so this is mostly eighth notes. Make sure we have a really nice clear tongue on these. I'm going to start off playing part 1, okay? There is a repeat. When it comes around the second time, remember we jump over that measure that has the bracket with the 1. We jump over it and go straight to the bracket with the 2. So we play through, hit the repeat, go back to the beginning, and then as we're playing through the second time, we jump over the first ending and go to the second ending, okay? All right, part number 1. 1, 2, 1, 2. Did you jump with me? Did you jump over the first ending measure? If you did, congratulations. If not, be aware of it and go back and practice it until it's really easy to remember that you gotta hop over that measure on the second time, okay? Here is part number 2. Don't forget the repeat in this one either. Very important. Part number 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. And there you have it, 2 duets for you to practice. So I hope the steps are clear, that you practice first by yourself, doing the first 3 steps individually, then start playing exactly what I play the parts that I'm playing along with me, and then after you've learned both parts, flip and play opposite what I'm playing on this recording, okay? And then I want you to submit a video of you playing both parts opposite me, okay? So on these recordings, I went first part, second part. You will play second part, first part to both of these. Record them and send it back, okay? And when you record your video, you can cut out all the talking and fast forward and do whatever you gotta do to just get those little snippets of me playing, okay? All right.